All right, so now let's get to peeling things. We're gonna peel our, for our salad, we're gonna make some roasted beets. So we're gonna wanna prep this ahead of time, get that in the oven. I have the oven preheated to 400 degrees, so we're gonna peel these, slice them thinly, and then use a little mini heart-shaped cookie cutter to cut out heart shapes after they're roasted. The scraps we're going to use for our mashed potatoes. So since we're peeling our beets, we're going to peel our potatoes right at the same time. And then we're going to put our, you can either boil your potatoes once you peel them, quarter them, and put them in a pot with water and boil them for 20 minutes until they're soft, and then mash them. Or you can use an Instant Pot, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to peel them, quarter them, add a clove of garlic and some beef broth, and put it in my Instant Pot for 10 minutes. So let's start out. Let's just go ahead. I'm gonna save the ends of these beets because these are edible and I use these for a lot of juices. You could also, if there's greens on your beets, you can use the greens and add them to the salad. I'm just gonna set those aside because I will use them for something else. Now let's get to peeling our potatoes. And actually for the salad, you can make this entire thing a day ahead of time, just so that it's ready to go, ready to plate. Just don't put the dressing on it. If you are making it ahead, wait to do the dressing until right before you serve it so it doesn't get soggy. But if you want to save yourself some time the day of your dinner and you want to have it ready to go, I suggest making it a day ahead of time. Easier and save time, you can just use those pickled beets that you use the juice for the rice, and then just the canned pickled beets, they're already sliced. Then you could just cut out little hearts, or you could just chop them up and add them to the salad, and that would save you 40 minutes or so. So I personally like roasted beets better, so I am gonna roast them. But if you want to save yourself some time, you can do that, or if you'd prefer, you can actually just use strawberries with the salad. I'm not going to use strawberries, I'm using beets instead. But either one, we want something festive and red. So whatever you prefer. If you're more of a sweet person, go for the strawberries. Or you could do a little bit of both. You could do the beets for a more earthy flavor and also the strawberries. I'm going to reserve this little end and put that in with my potatoes. I'm also going to use the cutouts left over of the roasted ones, the roasted beets, to mix in with the mashed potatoes. So the oven is preheated to 400. We are going to put in the oven for 35 minutes and check them after that. You're going to want to get your steaks out and let them be sitting at room temperature before we start cooking them. You're going to want to make sure your scallops are out and washed and thawed. We do not want them frozen. Let them thaw out. And yeah, then we're going to put our potatoes in the Instant Pot, or like I said, you can just boil them in a big pot of water. And if you are boiling them, boil them for like 20 minutes until they're soft enough to mash. If you're using the Instant Pot, we are gonna manual cook them for 10 minutes with 1 cup of broth. I'm also gonna add a clove of garlic in there. If you're boiling, you can add a clove of garlic right in the water with the potatoes. Crush it and throw it in the Instant Pot. I'm using 2 cloves. Okay. such a lifesaver when you're cooking multiple things. So just throw all of this right into the Instant Pot with some beef broth. 1 cup, at least 1 cup. You don't want to do much more than that, because if you do, I'm gonna eyeball it. In the Instant Pot she goes for 10 minutes. The beets are going, the potatoes are going. Now we are gonna put together our salad. I'm gonna use this for a bowl. I'm just gonna do, I only want enough for 2 salads here. 2 to 3 salads. So I'm gonna do a little bit of arugula, do a tomato. I'm just gonna cut it in half and then cut out the core. And then we're gonna cut these into little wedges. So I'm gonna cut it in half again, and then half again, and then we'll just go like this, like so. Only need half of an onion. I love using these little like bench scrapers for cutting boards to kind of clean them off. Thinly slice your onions. You can dice them if you want to, however you want them. Then just break them apart. We're gonna add these right in with our salad. Clove of garlic. These are small, so I'm gonna use 2. The juice of a lemon, some balsamic vinegar, some olive oil, crush it. We're gonna blend this in the blender really quick. It won't take long just to blend everything. So add your garlic. I'm gonna say about a 1/4 cup olive oil. And then about a 1/4 cup balsamic vinegar. Squirt of Dijon mustard, Italian seasoning, some garlic powder, a little salt, and some pepper. And then we're just gonna quickly blend this really quick to blend up that garlic. You could just dice it and whisk it too. Let's taste it. We are going to prep our compound butter. And then I'm gonna put some garlic. Can cut the stems off. Actually, no, I'm only gonna use half of it. That's too much, probably. I'm gonna do a little rosemary sprig. We're gonna save some of this rosemary for our steak. I'm also gonna add in a little garlic powder in here, and then we're gonna blend it. I'm gonna roll it into a little log. Get some baby broccolini, steam it, just very lightly with any seasonings that you want. Steamer pots, I'm gonna put in the top little steamer part, and then in the bottom, I'm gonna put some water. We're gonna get this on the stove top, ready for when we're over there, then we can do this at the same time as the steak and the scallops. A cup of water or so, and then have the lid, have it ready to go. We're just gonna set it over on the stove top. And we're gonna peel our scallops as well. See this little piece right there? You wanna just peel that off, get rid of it. Want both of these completely dry with only salt and pepper, nothing else. Set these over by the stovetop, ready to go. Over your garlic and your compound butter over by your steak, and avocado oil for your steaks. Avocado oil has a higher smoke point than olive oil, and it's a healthier version than like regular canola oil, so that's what I'll be using. It is going to get smoky, I'm going to warn you, because we're searing our steak on high to give it that nice outer crispy crust. Steaks are at room temperature, so if you're taking them straight out of the fridge and putting them on the stove top, it's just going to cause them to like shrivel up, and you don't want that. So I'm using some Black Angus ribeye steaks from Aldi. You can use New York strip or whatever you prefer. Dry them off. A little too much pepper right there. Can't get pat the sides with seasoning as well. Okay, so we're gonna assemble the salad. So let's just go ahead and put our salads in our serving dishes, like so. Actually, you know what? So I'm just gonna coat it, toss it with a little bit of the dressing in this larger bowl. Use some tongs and just kind of get it all nice and coated. Pecans. And then we'll use the scraps. Look how cute. Masher, and mash them right with that liquid in there. But once we add that heavy cream in here, it's gonna look really pink and pretty. Use half and half to make it a little bit less happening. It's so pretty and so pink. These up real quick. Chop some of these up real quick and add them in. I'm just gonna add one little scoop, one little chunk of our compound butter. And how pretty those are. Those are so pretty. There you go. Okay, now we're gonna start all the stove stuff. So we're gonna move over to our stove. We've got our scallops. We're gonna turn this on high. We're gonna turn our vents on because it's gonna get smoky in here. So get that ventilation going. How can I sit you guys so you can see? I need a better recording setup, but for now, this is what we're gonna do. Okay, we got our vents going. We're gonna turn on our broccoli the last couple minutes and get that steaming. avocado oil, both of these on high, both pots on high. Some avocado oil in the bottom of both of them. While those are heating, I'm just going to put a little bit of this compound butter with the potatoes. Spread them out so they're not touching. Alexa, set a 5-minute timer. You're going to sear each side of the steak for 5 minutes. You want to try to not touch them until they have a golden crust on the bottom. So kind of steep, but you want to try and just really let them be until they get that nice golden crust. Ideally, I would use another cast iron pan for the scallops as well, but I don't have to use, so we're going to use this one. You see that nice golden brown on there? You can go ahead and flip them. Be done before others. That one's done, so I'm just going to pull them off as they're done. Add a little butter and baste these as well. Oh yeah, look at that nice crispy. That's what we want. Alexa, set a 5-minute timer. You want a nice little golden brown crust on these. And then that compound butter that we melted, we're going to just pour all of that right over the top and let them rest. Mixture your compound butter, your garlic, your rosemary. We are going to add this in and baste these as well for the last minute or so. Broccolini is steamed perfectly, so we can turn that off. Alright, so these look good. I'm going to flip them again. And then we're going to turn off the heat and we're going to baste them. to rest for 5 minutes. We're going to remove them from the heat, set them on a cutting board, sprinkle them with a little Celtic sea salt. Alexa, timer off. And pour a little bit of this over the top. You want a little bounce, but not too much. You also don't want it to be too firm because you want it to have some pink in the middle. These are perfect. They have a little pink in the middle. They're juicy. The outside is crispy, which is exactly what you want. You want that texture of the crispy outside with the juicy inside. These turned out perfect. Just that perfect little bit of pink in there. Mm-hmm. You guys, these turned out so good. Oh my God. I love steak. So we'll do the broccolini like that. Just a couple little slices, kind of over the top of that. Laid out. So goddamn beautiful. Okay, and then with just a little parsley. Now this is what I call an amazing Valentine's dinner. So pretty.